Start recording.
Loud and clear here, Jerry.
Thank you, John. Recording has started. Let's go over here and refresh this. It's a slow day. We only got 1,600 people on the web. Maybe I'm starting to wear them out. Okay. Welcome to the WINGIT call. March 14th. Lord, I hope we're not here Wednesday. No, that's not anything in code. I love y'all, but I want to go to the bank. That's all I want to do. Then I want to spend money like a drunken sailor. So, to raise your hand, *2. And then once you raise your hand, I'll unmute you and mute you back. But *2 to raise your hand, and then if I've gotten to you and we're done talking, then do *2 to put your hand down. So, if you want to ask a question today, raise your hand. Oh, what else? I'm checking to see if not yet. Okay. We got a new web page is up and running. Hope you like it. As things come in, I'll be adding some more stuff. Hold on here. Yeah, I'm working on the disclaimer. Okay. And thank you for visiting the web page. Got an email from GoDaddy. It's only been up 12 days, and we've already had 22,000 visits, and they're wanting to know what I'm doing. I said, or what I'm selling. I said, I'm not selling anything. They said, well, you need to. And I said, maybe high heels and Daisy Dukes. I don't know. Oh, Lord, that lady in Kansas right now is probably rolling over on her couch right now. I want to do a shout out to the little crowd in Kansas there. Hello, everybody. And the website has the disclaimer for everything that's talked about on this call, but I'll go ahead and say it again. Seek your own financial advisors, investors, attorneys, lawyers, anything you can think of, go seek their advice. What we're talking about here is just our opinion. It's all rumor until it comes about. But for financial and legal advice, we are not responsible. I am not responsible, and nobody associated with the WINGIT call is responsible for any mistakes you make by taking guidance off this call. What else? We'll get to that in a minute. Art, would you like to kick in?
Kick in? I don't want to kick nobody.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I forgot the most important thing, a little day drinking here. I'm ready. Go ahead, Art.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I'll tell you what. I know it's been rather difficult every day. We keep hearing the same thing. Going to happen. Numbers are coming out tonight. Going to be in the banks tomorrow. How many days have we heard that? How many years have we heard that? Well, I think we're finally getting there. And you don't want to be here Wednesday. I don't want to be here Wednesday. John don't want to be here Wednesday. Nobody wants to be here Wednesday. And I don't think we will be based on what we're hearing. And I think it was published that there was going to be a meeting in Iraq. And where Mr. Abadi would get to finally do his thing and make his announcement that they're international and the WTO and the whole bit, and I understand that is supposed to happen tomorrow. And at that point, I think that will seal the deal. I've always felt that he had to make his final announcement that they have an international tradable currency, and I understand that possibly the WTO is thrown in there as well, that they have become members of it. And that
Art,
announcement, yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And I know this is on everybody's mind. Is Iraq really in control, or
No.
are they being held back until this is already on a bigger scale?
Well, I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest with you. I wouldn't want to state one way or another. I mean, at one time, I think they probably were in control, but no, we've been told lately the Chinese are the ones in control. They're the ones that really are kind of setting the pace for everybody, and we've been reading, more about that as time goes on, and a lot of people don't believe that, but I think they are the ones in control. But I also think that they probably want Iraq to make that announcement too, that they're international, and I've always felt that they have to make that announcement so that the rates will change on their CBI website too. Because if you tell anybody it's going to happen here, then a lot of people don't understand. Well, how can it? Because Iraq still has 1159 or whatever the number happens to be on that particular day, and a lot of people feel unless they look at that website and it shows an actual rate, why it's not happened. And I really do believe that if they make this announcement tomorrow, it solidifies everything. And yet you hear that it should have gone and could have gone a long time ago as well. So, but now that they're at that point, and it sounds like they're going to make that announcement tomorrow, why we are hearing that possibly. We won't say for sure because it's not happened for sure. Every time we say the emails are coming out for the groups and notifications, why they don't happen. And we are hearing, of course, again, that hopefully, we'll just say hopefully, they will be out tonight or tomorrow morning, and then kind of in that time frame, and we will be at exchange centers tomorrow. So how many times we've heard that, though, my lordy, and then we wake up every day and say, oh, there we go again, not here again. So, but I think this time it's really going to happen. So I'm positive about it, and that's about all we can say. There's nothing else to say. There's no other kind of intel to bring, really. The banks have been waiting, as you know. Ray Ring says, hey, the banks have been waiting, and everybody else, the banks have been waiting and been told where it's happening, staffing their people, putting people in there overtime, and nothing's happened. And so I guess they thought it was going to happen before now, and that may have precluded Iraq having to make any kind of announcement had it happened a week ago. So maybe it could have, and then Iraq plays catch-up and makes their announcement. So I don't know. But that's the way I look at it. They had to make an announcement to kind of coordinate everything and put it all together, and I think we're at that point right now. That's about all there is. Yeah. That's all there is except the dance, and,
Am I unmuted?
Oh, yeah, John, you're unmuted.
Oh, to me, what we heard a long time ago, it was like Iraq was like the catalyst for this whole thing. But then as time has progressed and we've seen other things happen, and of course the new sheriff shows up in town, and you know what I'm talking about there, I think. It's almost like they've been used as a barometer, I think. With everything else going on around it, Iraq has been kind of a barometer to kind of gauge by, I guess, even though they might not have been in the driver's seat. They were kind of like the driving instructor sitting right across the seat from the driver in the seat. I don't know what else to say. That's kind of what I got. It's more or less like just kind of gauging the pace of everything, I guess you could say.
There, Jerry.
That makes sense?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I muted myself. I do that to keep the background noise down. I'm going to bring in Rockstar. He's got an announcement. Go ahead, Rockstar, and some info.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in agreement with Art and John, what they're saying. I would add that this event has been in the planning and execution for over 40 years. And a lot had to happen, and a lot had to get adjusted over the years as different nations rose and fell. Different people came into power and left power. But it's done. It appears to be done. We're getting intel on all different levels, and it's all in agreement. So that being said, I am bowing out. It's been a lot of fun. It's also been a lot of heartache, but I'm finished. I am no longer in the public eye in Dinar land, whether or not it goes tonight or not.
Except for the WINGIT call.
No, Jerry, no. I'm off all calls. I am off all intel reporting. I am not contributing to the Skype room. I will be lurking, and I have made friends who I cherish, but I am done. I hope for some of you I've helped you out through this thing, and anyone I've offended, I take it back. But that's it. So with that, I'll say goodbye and good luck.
Hey, I think you're going to that club in New York. That's where you're going. You're going to go there and party. You're starting your party today, aren't you?
Michael?
Just Josh, and I guess he bowed out. Said he's done.
No. Yeah, he's out. That was it for him. Well, we're going to miss him, but I'll do the best to fill his shoes because he filled a big spot here. Where else are we at? My screen is really slow, and I have to refresh it so it stays up to date. I've had a talk with him about this, but no, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. So there is so anybody that was hanging around for any more, that's pretty much it. And the WINGIT call, down the road something might happen today. You never know. It has a life of its own. I've heard the same things that they've talked about. Oh, come on. I hate multitasking because it gets me off track here. You know what? We will go to let me get this straightened out here. We're going to go to our first caller. I'm not sure where you're at. It says B, and you're on the web. So I'm giving you a chance to get everything set up because I think you're the one that has a lot of background noise when I unmute you. So B, on the web, come on down.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. My question is this. I understand that we had to clean up our own government, and I'm in agreement with that. My question is, who's cleaning up China's government?
Don't know. Have no idea. Can't help you there.
Okay.
We're just. Go ahead, John.
They are at the behest of the Chinese royals, I do believe. They are.
So they will no longer be a communist country?
Well, I can't say that. I don't know what's going on in that regard. But as far as the people that have been involved in the same kind of shenanigans that the people are being cleaned up out of our own government, they are tending to their own house. So I don't know. Every country has the right to have the kind of government that they choose, but I think the choice, by and large, worldwide is being given back to the people instead of to the corporations as we've been under for so cotton picking long. And I think the same, it's not going to be the same government. I heard a long time ago, not a long time ago, a month or so back, that there was roughly 40 or 45 other countries that were wanting, after the Republic of America is out there where everybody knows about it, that they're wanting to build their government after the same pattern as the Republic of America. So who those countries are, I couldn't tell you, but I think the idea and the whole process of getting the governments back into the hands of the people who pay for it, I guess is the best way to say it, is taking place right now, not just here, but around the world. So And all I can just say to that is praise God. So.
Amen. Thank you very much, and I'll bow out. Have a good day.
You there, Jerry?
He's
Yeah, I'm
muted
here.
himself.
I've muted myself again. If you'll do star 2 to put your hand down, and then only one question today, please. We're going to go to Arlington, Texas. The last 4 of your phone number is 5680. Come on down.
Hey, Jay, this is Steve in Dallas-Fort Worth. How you doing today?
How you doing?
Good. Hey, my question is this. I listened briefly to Ray's call today on TNT, and basically he was saying that, the whole big thing now is the codes. Of course, we've always heard about the codes several years I've been in this thing, but all the codes are, basically last night, Canada had to get sync, and so they're in sync, and all the codes are, go codes are ready, but they need to get permission. And then what he said was that, the banks are waiting for the UST, and the UST said they've already given them. So, they indicated that Wells Fargo, which is lead bank, has a full authority to start the process. And Wells Fargo is saying that they're waiting for the Treasury. So I guess my question is between Art and John and you, what is the real truth? Obviously, that's the biggest issue.
Well, to be honest with you, go ahead, Art.
I was going to say the banks are ready. There's nobody holding them up that we know of. We've been told they're waiting. They've got people in there waiting to do it. There's just a matter of the final instructions, let's put it that way, by certain people in Reno that concludes it, and all they're waiting for is Iraq to finish what they were doing, and that will all happen hopefully sometime this evening, but nobody's holding anybody up anymore.
So basically, in order for them to get to go on this thing, they're waiting for Reno and Iraq?
Well, Iraq will make their announcement tomorrow that they're international, et cetera, and then the people have to, if you want to call it pushing the final button, whatever you want to call it, that's what they've always said, who's pushing the button, that'll be done, and it should be concluded, like I say, tonight or tomorrow sometime. I mean, just to make it as general as we can without getting into names and, and who's got to do exactly what. I mean, certain things they don't want us to talk about, let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, no, I understand that, but so based on the realistic timeline, do you think we had 800 numbers or notifications today or sometime, or do you think it'll be tomorrow?
Could be late tonight, could be tomorrow morning. Listen, we've heard that every day now, so we can come on here every day and say when it's going to be, and it never happens. So let's just hope and pray that it is tonight or tomorrow. Let's put it that way.
To put a face on
Okay.
the clock, it is actually 8 hours ahead of my time. I'm Central Time. So right now it is 10:49 p.m. in Iraq. So when we say tomorrow, I mean almost it is tomorrow when it's tomorrow in Iraq. So if you look at that timeline, wee hours of the morning, things could be going on for us. I'm saying could be. So.
Now, is it your understanding, John, that the exchange center is going to be 7/24 until they get all the groups, including the internet group?
My understanding is that there will be some. I don't know that all of them are going to be. That there's going to be some open 24/7. Where they're going to be, I guess we'll be able to find out. I mean, I heard something a month or two back that with cities of a population of over 500,000, there will be 24-hour centers there. But of course,
Others will be 7 to 11, John. I think we've been told 7 in the morning till 11 at night, something like that.
Yeah.
They got you covered. We have with 5,500 exchange centers and then all the other banks. And they said at one time 40,000 exchange places totally if you had all the banks up in the country. And, just they got everybody covered to get it done pretty quick. We know that.
All right, well, Jerry, that's all I got. I'm limiting myself to that one topic, and appreciate you and Art being on the call, John. And, you guys, God bless. Hopefully we can get this thing done today.
Thank you, sir. So I want to say this. So we're going to be walking in with a pocket full of a lot of money. And the exchange sites are going to be highly secured. So let's say that the codes are active and live and they have nobody coming in. We've heard both sides. But if you can't get past the secretary at the front door because you're staring down the barrel of a 45 or a AK-47, they can make all the announcements they want. But if you're not on that list, you're not getting to the front door. It's kind of like a rock star party. Can I see your name? I'm sorry you're not on the list. You can't get in the door. All the kicking and screaming is not going to get you in. Well, I know they're live. Let me in. Let me in. No, ma'am. No, sir. So sorry. Please leave the premises. So until they give us the go-ahead through whatever form, even if they're live, we can't get in the door. Now, that being said, let us go on to our next caller. And no, it's not you, but it's in San Diego, California, 619. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Jerry, you guys have the best call. I just had to tell you that.
Well, thank you.
And you're a crack up.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
My question is about the groups, and if you're in the Wells Fargo group and you're going to exchange with them, do you know if we have to take the contract rate and sign an NDA?
We won't know. Keep your plans flexible. We won't know till we get there. Nobody knows. If we knew beforehand, that's kind of like the defense knowing what the offense's play is before it even snaps and you can set up for it. No, that's no fair. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just didn't want to sign an NDA, so I didn't want to be, roped into that by going in for the contract rate. And then they're like, okay, here you go. You got to sign the contract rate. And I'm like, ugh. I'm sure things can be adjusted. Okay. Do you think it's going to be a 2 or 3 page NDA like some people are saying, or?
I'd be happy with one, but I'm sure they can't get, not unless it's a long one page. So I don't know.
Like the 90-day one that some people have been talking about? You think that's accurate?
To be honest with you, I don't know. Nobody knows until we get in there.
Huh. All right.
Now I can lie to you and say, oh yeah, it's just a 90-day NDA and it's just my opinion. But would you rather hear that, or you want to hear the truth?
Oh, the truth for sure.
Okay. Well,
yeah, Jared. Just one more quick thing. Do you guys know where Joseph came from? It's like he came down from heaven or something to help us through the end of this thing. You know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Oh. Well, wherever he came from, he's a godsend.
Okay. We appreciate if he's on here, he can raise his hand. We'll hear what he has to say. But anyway, thank you very much, sir.
All right, thanks, Jerry.
*2 to put your hand down, please.
Hey, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
The Washington Post is reporting that Putin has ordered the start of pulling all the Russian troops out of Syria, so I guess they're taking that ceasefire seriously. Just a little side note, it has nothing to do with the dinar, but interesting.
I haven't even been paying attention to that. Didn't know that there was even any consideration for that.
Well, they had a lot of troops in there, and they signed that peace deal, I guess. I guess it's holding up so far, and if they're pulling their troops out, that's a good sign. You know, just thought I'd mention it since I got an email on it.
Thank you, sir. Let's see. I never can pronounce this. Homosassa Springs, Florida. Boy, what a way to butcher that one. 352, come on down.
It's Homosassa.
Okay. I can't get my tongue wrapped around it, but you're there. One question, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I thought you'd be interested in this. I was listening to the news just before I got onto the phone, and I was listening to a commercial by Lear Capital, and he was trying to sell gold to everybody because of the fluctuations in the market, and the downturn could be productive if you own gold. And he said, which I've never heard before on TV, there's going to be a global currency reset bigger than anything in history. And I thought that's an unusual statement. I've never heard anything referred to the RV or anything. So I just thought you'd find that of interest.
Absolutely. They're all trying to get the last little moneymaker in before things change. So, any questions? Got a question, please?
No, I don't have any questions.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Thanks again.
And star 2 to put your hand down. Our next caller, no name, no city, no state, just says 649.
649, that'd be me. That'd be me, I think. Well, good morning from New Zealand. I know it's afternoon there, but it's morning here, and I'm glad I had a chance to get on the call. First, I guess it seems like I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Iko for everything he's contributed, and especially the other day, that phone call, I think, rocked a lot of people's sense of what really is going on in the country. And I think he stated things pretty clearly and I think accurately in that if there's going to be a major shakeup, I think the country will be in a temporary state like it hasn't been probably since the Revolutionary War. And I think that's worth noting. Anyway, Jerry, my question is, there's been some talk about whether or not it would be advisable to go to anything other than a designated bank site, that's obviously a bank site when it comes to doing these exchanges, mainly for security reasons. And how would you know that the site that you are going to or told to go to would be one secure and safe, and that it would be what it's supposed to be? I'd be interested to know you and Art and everybody's thoughts on that relative to the sense of the unknown as it relates to security, because you're going to have your currency with you and potentially in harm's way. So I'd be curious to know your thoughts.
Well, if Wells Fargo or the rest of the banks actually have 800 numbers and they put them out and they're from them, you can pretty well be well assured. And let's say they don't put out 800 numbers, but you call the 800 number off of the website, I think you could be pretty well assured that they're going to direct you to a secure location, because they don't want to get out that there's issues. And if I was a betting man, I'll bet you that when you're within a mile of wherever you're going, or even several blocks, if it's in a major city of a major building, there's probably going to be security driving around or walking or watching to see what's going on. They're not just going to wait for you to drive in the bank and say, okay, you made it, you're safe. But that's just this is my thoughts on it.
Right. So it is a bit of a crapshoot, bottom line, I guess, till we know for sure. But I've got most of my family listens to your call now, and I just want to say thanks. I think you guys are doing a terrific job, and hoist a blue one for me at some point in time. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Oh, your parents are listening, or your friends and family thinking this guy here has lost his mind. What the heck are you doing?
Well, they always say that like minds think alike. So I guess we're in good company.
Well, okay. So if we're going to hell in a handbasket in a canoe, I tell you what. Why don't you be on point up there, and I've got control of the rudder.
Never mind being the first in the door, eh?
Exactly.
All right. Well, have a good day. Thanks. I appreciate it, Jerry. You bet.
All right. Next up is Chicago, Illinois. As soon as my board gets unfrozen here. 773. And if you'll do *2 to put your hand down in New Zealand, thank you. Appreciate that.
Come on down.
Come on
hey, Jerry,
down.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I love it. I'm doing good, man. Good to hear your voice. I want to thank Eco for all he's done, and going to miss him. That's all I can say. I'm going to miss him. But I haven't heard anyone ask this question. And it was Saturday. It was news about the president of Zimbabwe was reported missing. And I'm like, this story sounds kind of funny because presidents don't just come up missing. They don't fly by themselves without anything going on.
Hold on. I think I can add a little light to this story. So I want you to listen closely. It's just you and I on the call right now, and maybe just between you and a couple of our friends. So Mr. Mugabe, to shed a little light on your story there, or your question, Mr. Mugabe is in his 90s. And he thought that he would be smart and marry him a younger woman. When I mean younger, I'm talking in his 30s. There is a rumor that there was a coup over there, and what was it? Help me out here, John. Was it Sheba that used her feminine ways to get what she wanted in a couple of wars?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe Sheba wormed her way into the Mugabe administration. What do you think about that? Because there was a rumor that there was some she wanted something, he wanted something, and I think Sheba might have won out.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Okay.
I thought I'd present that little story to you there. You know, Sheba's a rounder. You know, she does get around.
I heard that. Okay. Well, Jerry, thank you. I appreciate your call. I meant to ask Blondie yesterday, but I forgot. And then when she was closing out, I put my hand back up, and she said goodbye. So I said I'll save it for you today. But thanks, man. I appreciate everything you've done and everything you're doing.
Thank you very much.
And I'll put my hand down.
Thank you, sir. So our next person is in Fair Oaks, California, 916. Guess what? Come on down. Uh-oh. Fair Oaks, California, area code 916. You're unmuted on my end. I think I can hear you. Hello? Hello? Fair Oaks, California. You know.
Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, Jerry?
Yes, go ahead.
Jerry, I'm not in Fair Oaks, California. This is in Roseville, California. Hopefully that's me. I'm on 916, so I'll take it. Well, I've been listening to you guys, and I just wanted to acknowledge and thank you so much for all that you've conveyed to us. I've been listening to Iko here and there, and I know he's contributed to my mindset many things, and it's too bad that he left the way that he did, because he's got people that appreciate all this communications and input. So it seems to me like I'm just thinking that perhaps he just knows that this is going to be over, and it's what I've heard. I guess Art has said that this is a done deal and it's tomorrow. And what I wanted to ask Guy Kawarden, you may have the answer because you guys talk about everything, so you know, and everybody has a point of view. But at one point, he brought up the situation with one world order, one world monetary system, and I guess that's a big concern of mine. And then the Pope was brought up, and I'm also hearing that they're after one world religion. So those are three big items. But the one that I'm concerned most with right now is could anything go the other way, being that it's done, and perhaps tomorrow on this one world monetary system along with one world order? That's phase A of my question. And I'll just leave it at that for a minute, but I have something else. So let's deal with that right now, if we could, please.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask your forgiveness. I heard the first part and the last part. My son-in-law called. He's got truck issues, but
I'm sorry.
No. It's okay. Let me try to answer what I heard. Nobody is really going to know what's going on until. If we had all had a crystal ball and we were in politics, we might hear what's going on. And to be honest with you, they're not going to let us know down at this level unless you've got people that you know higher up the food chain that actually might get some truth.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah. Well, it's what it is, and we'll see tomorrow. I guess time will tell. And the whole thing with the Republic, the new Republic, how much do you personally believe that some of the things on the 9th is, if I believe that was, it was the 9th probably. What an incredible call that was.
I've got my fingers crossed. So something happened there. I didn't do that.
For the new Republic, you mean you got your fingers crossed, Jerry?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Special caller, is that you? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead.
I'm here.
Special caller on?
Yeah, go.
Yep, I'm
Special
here.
Caller, go ahead.
Well, I'm just calling in to say hello and maybe answer a few questions and give you what I got. So you want me to go ahead or?
Yes, please.
Okay. So there was a couple issues that were handled overnight, and those issues were handled. They weren't security problems. They were just things that had to be completed, and those things were completed, which puts us into which puts us into 6 to 9 tonight, Pacific Standard Time, that we're supposed to be seeing this thing happen finally.
Cool. Very good.
And that's what I got.
Thank you, sir. If you'll mute on your end, then I won't have to mute you.
I can
here.
do that.
Okay. Well, there we go. Just a short update from Special Caller. Thank you very much. And we're going on to Kansas City, Kansas, 913. Come on down.
Would that be me?
What? Yes, ma'am.
Is that okay? Thank you for taking my call, and I'm a first-time caller. And I have a question. This just came out the other night, and I have not read it, and so I don't really know anything about it, and I'm asking for all you guys to see if you know that there has still been arguing by whoever, the cabal or whatever. They continue to try to stop this, and that it has gone to the Supreme Court, and that the Supreme Court ruled against them But while we're hearing every day this is supposed to be going, we all of a sudden have gotten information that this has been taken to the Supreme Court to stop us from getting it, which apparently they're saying didn't happen. So how good is our information? Where is it coming from that hasn't come out? Have you guys had any of that information so far? That's my question.
Okay, thank you. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know if anybody else has, if they'd like to attempt to answer that.
I would say blah, blah, blah. I would say blah, blah, blah to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. We haven't heard anything like that.
I would say, who does that make sense to?
Regarding the Supreme Court, a number of years ago, there was an attempt made, but it was nixed completely at that time. There's never been an issue since.
Okay. Give me a second.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. And here, I know this phone number. That's Wichita, Kansas. 316. That's that country girl sitting there on that couch laughing.
Hi there, Jerry. This is AKA Crossover.
How you doing?
I am doing well, and you sound great. And thank you for taking my call. And John and Art and special caller, thank you so much. And while I'm thinking, I just want to say, Iko is awesome. I mean, when you think about how many times on all the different calls that we all have been on, that he has been there and just poured his heart out for each one of us, I just, he is awesome. I have written him a few times. I've certainly prayed for him too, and I know this has got to be, a real tough journey for you guys that are the gurus and the information people. And I just want to just give a lot of kudos to Iko Ward, because he has been a gem, has been a gem. I just love him and thank him so very much. He has helped us not only in our current generations, but the generations to come are benefited by all the great intel and comfort that he has given us. And he has a heck of a lot of patience. So I just wanted to say that.
Can I add something to what you're talking about?
Absolutely.
Then we'll take your question.
Mm-hmm.
I may not agree with everything that Tony did, but one thing I've got to give him more than kudos for is 2 years of doing calls 3 days a week.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know what he's going through. I feel it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach a point to where what else can you talk about, because it's just repetitive is what it is. And this is what I'm bumping against already. And, I've only been doing this, about a month or a month and a week? Well, longer than that when I was over there with Winsome. But it's tough. And so I have to give Ray kudos too, and all of the Intel gurus. This is tough.
Amazing.
Because you have a Bluetooth or a phone stuck to your ear and you're talking to yourself, and people think you're crazy because you're walking around on your Bluetooth. But I just want to say that I'm doing this for free because I'm just trying to help people, and thank you for everybody for letting me do this. So what is your question, country girl?
You're right, though, too. Tony and Ray have been awesome. I just love them, and I understand Tony's got a birthday coming up pretty soon. Well, my question is actually, the questions I've had have pretty much been answered, but I wanted to ask John and Art and special caller about, there's still a bunch of rumors about the 800 numbers, and I know somebody kind of touched on that, but have they heard from their intel within the last week, say, in regards to them not doing that, and do they have any idea what chaos they possibly would bring on everyone by not doing it? But I'd just like to hear from the guys a little bit about that, and then I just have a half a question after that, if I could.
I don't know about the half a question. Art, what do you think?
I don't. I think we've heard so many things about whether we're going to get 800 numbers, whether we get an email with a code in there you carry into the bank, which will identify you as part of either a Wells Fargo group or an Admirals group, and And we heard rumors, my God, the other day that there won't be any 800 numbers. You're going to have to call the main 800 number of the bank. And I think it's kind of confusing now. And until we get our instructions, I don't think we'll know for sure. I think special caller may want to add to that, and you may have some more information than I've got.
Thank you.
You still here?
Yeah, he's still there. I actually think he's doing the family thing right now. So, country gal, I think that's it for you. Thank you.
So special caller's not there. If I wanted to just kind of ask a little bit about what he said.
He is there, but I think he's in a family function right now.
I hear you.
So
okay. Dear Jerry, could I just give a shout out to my small group here in Kansas, like Skippy and Pico and Sadie Girl and Okie Dokie and Pat, and if I can't, that's okay.
No, you can't, but it's okay.
I think she already did.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Well, what about, gorgeous looking women with green eyes? What about them?
Let's see. Oh, Green Eyes? Are you talking about Green Eyes? Green Eyes is in our group here, but you maybe not know who she is, but she's a doll.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Star 2 to put your hand down. Now we're going to Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana dropped off the... Uh-oh. Gary, Indiana, if you'll raise your hand again, I accidentally dropped you. I'll get you back in the queue, okay? I'm sorry. My bad. Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 919.
Sir, how are you doing today? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, is there a pecking order? Has pecking order changed, or what is your understanding of the pecking order?
Pecking order on what? Getting paid out?
Exchange, yeah.
Well, yeah, I have a definite opinion about that if you'd like to hear it.
Okay.
Here. So, we're just plain old folks, you and I, wearing bib overalls, drinking a little beer, driving around our pickup trucks. We're at the bottom of the barrel, and that's how the payout structure is going to work. Politics, political, corporation, whales, and then us.
Mm-hmm. When you say us, you also include groups and public all grouped together? Big groups?
Yes.
Big groups and public all together?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And all the fuss about the rates, I never quite understood that about all the fuss about the rate, because it is illegal for anyone on the inside to even tell what the rates are.
Not until you get to the exchange center, then they can talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. It's right. I'm saying prior to, it's illegal for anybody who's on the inside who may know to say.
Well, it might be illegal.
Months and weeks, huh?
It might be illegal, but you know how it is. If three people know a secret, how does the secret stay silent? I guess if the other two are no longer existent.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get out. People talk about it, but
Jerry.
Yes, sir.
They have talked for as long as I've been involved in this, which is quite a while. Called it insider trading. Insider trading has to do with the stock market. This kind of stuff is really not even in the stock market. I mean, there's people that talk about that, but it's not one and the same. I think really when it comes down to right now and where we are right now, I think the request has been put out about not talking about those rates simply because, it creates a furor, I think, out there amongst a lot of folks and stirs things up and just kind of prevents the folks that are actually pushing the buttons, pushing or pulling the strings, whatever it is you want to call it in this whole thing, kind of creates a little bit of issue for them. So it's best just to kind of leave that subject by the wayside and and deal with the things that you need to deal with in preparing for when the time comes for you to go do your exchange. Get all that stuff lined out, and then just wait for it to come to you. So
I noticed too on the call today there seems to be a pretty high level of confidence that this time is for real. What's different about this time than all the other hundreds of times we've been hearing? Oh, it's going to happen. It's going to be this week, this Monday, this weekend, et cetera, et cetera.
I'd say just from the things that are being told to us, and like I said, everything is rumor and conjecture until we get the go-ahead to go to the bank. And as Tony said, this is an influx situation.
Bottom line is also every day you're another day closer. So that's pretty simple. But
all righty, sir.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to go down here to Gary, Indiana, 219. Come on down.
Hello, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
I'm the one that asked about HSBC Bank on the last call. A question I have, during the exchange, when we provide an account number for them to deposit the money into, is there more than just the number that has to match for the funds to be delivered to that account? I mean, is a name or some other kind of identification required in order for that money to process through?
You've lost me there, because if you go in the bank and you've already got an account set up, hand them your debit card and swipe this, and that's the account that it goes in. Or if you're in a group already, if you're in a group, I don't know.
Well, it was my plan to go in there with an account to another bank, to do the exchange at one bank and have the money go to another bank. But I'm wondering if it's probably safer just to the bank that I do the exchange with to open a new account with them instead of transferring the money to an existing account of mine.
There you go. If you're going to do that, why wouldn't you go to that bank? So if you're going to go to Wells Fargo or Chase, open up an account there, do your business. The next day or two or in a week, you go to that bank that you made your deposit at, your exchange, and say, I want to transfer X. Here's my routing number. Here's my account number. Give me all the paperwork when it's done.
Yeah, I was thinking that I would probably get a better rate of exchange at another bank than my home bank.
You got to remember, if you've got a small community bank that you wanted to dump a lot of money in, they can't take if you become the biggest sole depositor that's worth 50% or more, I'm pretty sure there's guidelines where they're going to restrict how much you can put in there.
They won't even allow it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, they won't allow it.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I was concerned with the money not being deposited in the correct account. You know, if it's just off by one digit or so, I was concerned about that.
Well, if you walk in with a printout from your bank that you want it to go to saying, here it is, and if there happens to be an issue, they can go back and trace it, and your money won't be gone. It's like anything else. If there's been a typo or an error on whoever put the numbers in,
yeah,
they're going to get the money back for you. But just remember what I was saying. If it's a small bank, they can only take so much because they can't have an out of balance. It's like you buying into a corporation. You know, if you hold 35% stock in IBM, you're a main shareholder. You can do whatever you want. They don't want that, nor will they let you. Hope that makes sense to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the banks that I'm looking at are all Tier 1 banks, and My thinking was I can get a better rate at a Wells Fargo and then send it into the bank that I've been using for the last 30 years.
Well, if it's a Tier 1 Big Four bank, go to them.
Well, we should get the same rates then from all the Tier 1 banks.
We should.
The
I'm
contract rates and all.
I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm just saying it. No, don't misinterpret that. I know what you're getting at, but I can't guarantee that.
Can
Oh, okay.
I make a suggestion, Jerry?
Sure. And thank you, sir. I'm going to mute you.
The old rule of thumb is the more moving parts you got, the more chances you have of something going wrong. And that's just kind of the way I look at things. Try to keep it simple. I mean, if you're trying to shop around for banks and stuff, I think you're missing the whole point of a lot of this, because as I understand it, the banks are trying to compete for your business. And the playing field, if I've missed something, somebody correct me, but the playing field is supposed to be made pretty level for all of them as far as what they can negotiate. It's all depending on you going in and asking. But somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if you're going to go exchange at one bank, you need to do business with that bank and just keep it simple. I mean, if you want to go take money back to your home bank, because I've got a bank in my hometown that I'd like to continue having an account with, but that's not where everything is going to go. I just don't think that's smart. Anyway, that's just my opinion.
Thank you, John. Okay, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 919. Come on down. Chapel Hill, that's the city it says you're in. Your area code is 919. Terry?
Yeah, I've already asked my question.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Uh-huh.
Bend, Oregon, 541. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for taking my call. My question is a little odd. I'm one of those guys that was on Tony's calls for the last few years and, was part of the whole Twitter thing and all of that. So we kind of draw, and you mentioned Tony quite a bit as well. I kind of draw a lot on what he has said and what DC has said over the years, and Ray as well. One of the things that Tony used to tell us was what was said in the mosques when they got together, for prayer in the mornings and the evenings. And I was just curious if you guys, heard any of that, if you had any information of what's been said recently.
I have no context for that.
Okay.
I can't vouch for anybody else.
Okay. Okay. I was just curious. That was always kind of a helpful thing to know, because it gave us a bit of a gauge of what was going on over there in country. So do we have any idea, have they RI'd or RV'd if the rates, if the release codes are down to the banks at this point here in the U.S., does that then mean that they have RV'd or RI'd and we just haven't been informed of it?
I don't know. Truly, I don't have anybody in Iraq.
Okay.
Go ahead, Art.
No, they have RV'd. They RV'd some time ago, actually, and we're just waiting for the notifications, and then you set your appointments with the banks, period. That's it.
They're making their final announcement this afternoon that they need to make.
In Iraq?
Yes, sir.
Oh, are they? Okay, good.
Thank you for that information very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Matt.
So we're going on to Phoenix, Arizona, 602. Come on down.
Hello. Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. And we're going to miss Iko as it is. But I just want to put that out there. One question to you. I've heard that this is going to happen on a day when most people are not going to expect it. And I'm thinking that can be like April Fool's. What do you think about that?
We're expecting it every day, so there's just no getting around that. You know, and everybody's looking at the astrology charts, and hell, I'm hoping that, you know, it happens at 12:01 tonight. You know, that's my preference. But they can't hide us from us because we're all waiting on it. There's no sneaking it in. You know, it's trying to sneak Donald Trump into a Black Panther rally. He's not going to get in there unseen, okay?
Yeah. Yep, it'll stand out. Okay, that's all the question I have, man. I also like to thank you for everything you do for us, so I just want to put that there, too. So
Thank you, sir.
I'll mute myself out, and let's keep on going. Hope for tomorrow.
If you'll do *2 and drop your hand. Let's see. It's a web call, and all it says is, David, come on down.
Hey, Jerry, thanks. Hey, Art, John, and special caller. I know when we go in, they're going to have rates on the screen. Now, before I walk in, I want to know what kind of rates. Can I go somewhere to see those rates that may be on that screen, or is that not possible?
Nope, and nope. That was pretty easy. No, you're going to see. You're going to get nothing before you go in except disinformation and promises of a high rate, but you're not going to know until you get in there. So nope, and nope.
Okay, and you're going to give the code word depends, or if you have an 800 number, you're going to let us know, right?
Whatever I have, I will send out. But you know, the code word, I've already got it set up in a tweet. But and trust me, I want to push the button so bad, but I can't do that to y'all just yet. I could on April Fool's date and holler April Fool's 2 tweets later.
Well, I bought a bunch of Depends so I can have a party just for a souvenir.
Are you gonna, after you put them on and use them, are you gonna save them for prosperity behind glass?
Well, I thought I'd do. You know how they do the football? They do the signings. You know, the signatures.
Yeah.
And then what we're going to do is sign them and then frame them, and, you know, this is the date that our life changed forever.
There you go. Just make sure you got them sealed behind glass.
There you go, brother. All right. Well, I thank you, and I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. *2 to put your
Jerry,
hand down, please. Yes, sir.
I'm just having flashbacks of the locker room in high school and the smell and everything. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord. Well, let's see. It says Findlay, Ohio, area code 419. It's probably not your town, but you're unmuted. Come on down.
Jerry?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm having feelings of, I got excited. I can't remember the word I was going to use. Separation anxiety, just at the very thought of never hearing Iko again. It's the same feelings I had when we lost Tony. And my last word is, well, it's not my last word because I do want to tell you something else. I say, Iko Ward for president. We're voting here tomorrow.
I will convey that to him.
I really, really, really wish he'd reconsider because we need him. We lost Tony. We don't want to lose him too. 2 strikes is more than I can bear. And I wanted to correct the gentleman from Homosassa, Florida. I just heard that commercial just before the call, and they're saying global reset. They aren't saying global currency reset. They're just saying global reset. And I think they know about it, but
anyhow, I just wanted to make that correction. But do let Iko know that we need him. Okay.
He's the type of individual, once he's made up his mind, there's not a whole lot. It's kind of like a woman. Once she makes up her mind about something and she's dead serious, you know how that goes.
No. We lost Tony. We just don't want to lose Iko, too. Anyhow, do you have any feelings about this Tony event that was going to be in Las Vegas? Do you think Tony would be able to come to something like that, or is he forbidden to do that? The way I understood it is he isn't allowed to do anything with us anymore. Do you know anything about that?
I think he's in the Gray Bar Hotel, ma'am.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I think he's in federal custody, being a guest of theirs for at least a year.
Oh.
So I'm thinking if he's a guest of theirs, that they're not going to give him a day pass.
No, you're right. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate you, too. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Uh-oh. This board is about to drive me crazy. Springfield, Ohio, 937. Come on down.
Jerry, what's up?
Still broke, still drinking Blue Moon. Oh, and I want to say this. When y'all go shopping for a new vehicle, do me a favor, do Jerry a favor. When you go into, I don't care if it's the Ford dealer, the Chevy, or the Dodge dealer, tell them you want a Texas Cadillac, and that's a 4-wheel drive diesel pickup truck, 4x4, with everything on it. And they're going to look at you and say, Texas Cadillac, and then you just tell them, well, that's what Jerry calls it. Maybe that's
Jerry, my team's getting smaller. Tony's gone, Iko's gone, so I'm going to have to put you at point guard.
Oh, Lord, no, don't do that.
Forward.
No.
I'm going to move Art in the pivot, so he'll be able to make sure defensively we know what we're doing.
Oh, this is a bad lineup. What's your question, sir?
I just called Tampa wealth manager people down there at Wells Fargo, and, of course, they know nothing as usual. My dilemma is my daughter's going to have some surgery on Thursday. The group I'm kind of with is in Virginia. So should I bring my currency with me and try to go wherever I can? Or how will I play that?
That is a personal decision.
Well, there's got to be currency exchange places in Tampa somewhere. So
I'm sure. Just if you want, take your
stuff with you. If I ride up on one of your horses, they'll never suspect me of having any currency, foreign currency.
Exactly. Especially when you pull your saddlebags off. Just make sure you leave your long gun in the scabbard there. But take some with you. Figure out the zip code there. Give them that zip code.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Appreciate it. Love the show, man. Take care.
Did we lose you? Jerry?
I got dropped. For some reason, I got dropped. Couldn't get called back in.
And dropped on his own call. Well, that takes it.
Dropped on my own call. Anyway, I don't know what's going on here. Here we go. Ladue, is it Missouri? 314? Come on down.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm glad to be on the call. Thank you all for taking my call. I just was wondering about the times. I heard someone say the times that they were talking about, knowing that this is on this evening. What was the time that they had said?
6 to 8 Pacific.
Oh, okay. All right, I just want to thank you all for all that you've done. Iko will be missed on the call because he's had a lot of information. And I just thank you all for just keeping us informed and keeping us with the knowledge of knowing what to do. You all have been great, and I appreciate you all. I know the call can probably continue even after the RV takes place because there'll be other things that you can discuss, but I'm so glad to have been a part of this call. Thank you for taking my call.
And I'm glad you brought that up. I have so much in my brain. Yeah, this will continue. The call won't be 3 days a week post RV, maybe once or twice a month. But in the web page will stay up. These numbers will stay the same. I might change the access codes so that it can be a little more private than extremely public. That way, we all can still communicate. But yeah, this is going to still go on post RV. Just trying to contribute back.
Okay,
so
thank you so
ma'am.
much.
And Ontario, California, 909.
Hello, Jerry. This question is for Art or special caller. Do you
special
believe
caller
that there
is
will
not here?
Okay. Do you believe that there will be a fee that we will need to pay to the Treasury Department? And if yes, what percentage is that fee?
If I think I'm correct, but Art, John, isn't it 1%, which is non-negotiable with the UST?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I thought we heard 1 to 2. Is special caller still on?
No, he's gone.
He's gone. We heard 1 to 2, but depends maybe what group you're with. Depends how much currency you've got. If you've got a humongous amount of currency, I think you can negotiate that out where that's taken care of for you. That's my understanding. But if you have a little bit of currency, they may charge a fee of 1 to 2%. We've heard many things on that too, and nothing for sure until you get in there, really.
Wasn't the Wells Fargo group going to be taken care of as far as all fees?
Well, supposedly the taxes are going to be paid by the Chinese on the dinar at least, and we never did hear anything about the fee of 1 or 2%. That was never discussed really on the Wells Fargo. But so we don't know until we get there. Just some things we just don't know until you walk in there and start negotiating with them or whatever you're going to do.
Well, going on the assumption that there is a 1 or 2% Treasury fee, when they quote us the rate, is that fee already taken out of there? Or if they quote us a $10 rate, $8 rate, whatever that is it then we have to pay from that rate, the 1 or 2%, or is that 1 or 2% already taken out of that quoted rate?
No, I don't think it would be taken out. You'd have to pay it if there is a fee.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And if you'll do *2 to put your hand down, I'd appreciate it. Battle Creek, Michigan, 269. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, I suppose. Question was for special caller, and maybe if he comes back, you can ask him, or if anyone else has intel on this question. The question is that 6 to 9 time period that special caller had given. Is that would that be an announcement for asset-backed currency, the new currency, or is that just a outlet for 800 numbers?
I think it's just to let us know it's time to go put on our birthday suit and go to the party.
Depends.
Exactly.
Depends time. Okay. All right. Very good. Appreciate the call, Jerry. As always, slide me a blue moon if you would.
I'm looking at the bottom of my beer bottle. I guess I'm done for the day on that. Thank you, sir.
Uh-oh. All right. I'll lower my hand. Thank you much.
Uh-oh. Dance man, mute your phone. Yo, dance man. Mute your phone. There we go. Brentwood, New York. 631. Come on down. Brentwood, New York. 631. Come on down. You're unmuted. Hello?
Is that me, Jerry?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. The question I had was, there was a statement made on the overprinting of the dinar and how Iraq couldn't possibly pay back the public completely due to the quintillions that were printed. Does anyone have any comments on that? Any statements, maybe?
You mean how's it going to directly affect the price of the currency versus how much is out there to the price of it? Is it been diluted? I can't answer that question.
Well,
I'm not an economist.
The question is, because there was a comment made about since it was so heavily overprinted into the quintillions, that I guess the thought was that Iraq couldn't possibly make full restitution on all of that for the public once they, went to exchange.
There's more to the reason that was done than I want to get into on the call, and Art and John both know where I'm coming from, so I apologize for deflecting from your question, but the best I can give you is, do I think that the overprinting of the dinar is directly going to affect the price of it when it comes out? No. It won't. It will not have diluted the dinar, and I hope that answers your question.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for what you do, and absolutely special thanks to Iko for all he's contributed over the many months that he's been involved.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So next, we're going to Jacksonville, Florida, 904. Come on down. Jackson.
Is that me, Jerry?
Scott. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, first thing I didn't know is Philip gave us any type of intel he might have received since Friday. Has he given any report yet?
No, he hasn't even been on the call today.
Can you get him off the beach, you think? Is he enjoying all those beers and,
I think he's got his toes in the sand, and he's happy.
Yeah, we don't describe anything else. But regarding Iko, I appreciate all his contributions, analysis, and open-minded communication regarding these blessings and analysis about the stock market and gold and silver and everything and Forex. It's been quite a learning experience from him, Jerry. But I think what he's doing is he's preparing for a challenge from the Raging Cajun, James Carville. I can see them on either side of the podium. Point counterpoint.
I will definitely refer that to him.
and I forget the guy on Saturday Night Live who imitates James Carville, but that's priceless, even better than the real thing.
Absolutely.
But, regarding the month of March, obviously St. Patrick's Day is this Thursday. Pot of gold is its symbol, and many of adults are going to be over-consuming beverages. So that is kind of an opportunity to push this through. But in your sorry, I'm outside. By the way, 83-degree weather here in Florida. Hope you're liking that.
I don't want to talk to you.
I know. But what else do you see as the last straw? I mean, Alan Greenspan's in Iraq right now, very curiously. Is there anything that you tell your people that I think this is the last thing to be done? Even though we're done, I believe this T has to be crossed, that I has to be dotted.
Don't know. We are so low on the totem pole, and that question is so far over our heads up in the stratosphere that I would like to say this is the final little tidbit that needs to be done. Sorry, I can't answer that.
Because, Alan Greenspan originally was supposed to speak on 9/11 of 2001, and his commentary, which has been debated, but he was supposed to announce the U.S.'s return to the gold standard, gold-backed currency.
Well, hold on.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you a question, and mute your phone on your end while I ask you this question.
No problem.
So Alan Greenspan worked for who? The Federal Reserve. Are they part of the U.S.? No. Are they part of the cabal? Yes. Do you think that they really wanted to announce Nazara coming in since they were the ones that were making money hand over fist? That's their money-making machine, was the Federal Reserve, and keeping us enslaved by loaning us our own money and then charging interest on top of it. So Alan Greenspan is suspect at best. So I want you to think about what I said, and you can go from there. So if you want to unmute, please.
I get what you're saying, but right now it's been reported he's in Iraq, and he's 85-plus years old, and his intelligence regarding financial and economic reform is just off the chart. So, just wanted to put that out there. If any of your guest stars wanted to comment on him being over there in Iraq.
Heck, I think he might be over there trying to exchange. Who knows?
It's true.
Anyway, Art or John, do you want to take a whirl at that? I'm going to go ahead and mute you, sir, if you'll start to and put your hand down.
Key word is reported. You use the word suspect. Reported and suspect both go hand in hand, in my opinion. So there's a lot of things that have been reported that I find suspect from the very beginning. So,
well,
go ahead, Art.
I heard that he was part of the original Bush-Cheney team that started in 13303 to begin with to get this whole thing started. Even though he's part of the Federal Reserve and the cabal, he still was part of it. So that could be why he's there, because it's coming to a culmination now, and maybe they just finally all want to see it just get done, period. That's my only explanation as to why he would even be there. Maybe to celebrate. We don't know for sure. Like John says, we're kind of suspect on a lot of things these days, on a lot of things you hear, So, better just leave it lie, I guess, and know that whatever's happening over there, it's going to be a celebration time for them. They're going to make an announcement noontime tomorrow their time, and it should all be over, and we should be at the exchange centers and be happy guys and gals.
Thank you. Now, Philip, we were just talking about you, and then you show up. Were you lurking in the background?
I don't do well as a lurker. I'm not a very good lurker. Did you guys already touch base on Iran and Iraq? Going to put their ATMs together? Did you do that?
No, we left that for you because I knew that was something that you wanted to bring in. Please.
Okay, well, Iran and Iraq are getting ready to connect their ATMs together, and one at 321 or 222 and one at 1066. There is no segue there. There is no middleman to the Middle East. they all want to be part and portion to the near value of the same. So that's about to happen. Transparency. North Korea lost a couple submarines this week. Don't know if they were sunk or if they got out from underneath the radars of the United States, but I doubt that. At one point, they said 50 of their submarines came up missing. In the meantime, we did hear that there were 3 people. Now, this don't make much sense, so, but it was rumored that the Admiral and Mike Cottrell, and Robert Wan were all seen together at the same place signing papers. Now, does that mean anything? No, because for one, Mike Cottrell has been a mystery man all along, who's going to do what for who and when. And then Robert Wan was supposedly removed as paymaster. And so the rumors out there are high, and the disinformation out there is very high. We heard 2 days ago, last 48 hours ago, that this was still going to move on Tuesday for private groups. That would be those that are in General 64, blah, 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 the groups under the Admiral. Anyways, so having said that, I did talk to somebody who's near and close to Mike Cottrell, who still told me we're 1 to 2 weeks out. All right, that's fine. And at the same time, that same group was told to be quiet. So having said that, we say that to say what? Well, we're very close, folks, and nobody's going to know exactly when this happens except for, ICO. So you guys, Jerry, back to you.
Philip, thank you for the update. Appreciate it. And if you'll just mute on your end. And here we go. Big Fish, come on down.
Hey, Jerry, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I actually stepped out on our pier the other day and caught me a big fish.
All
nice
right.
rainbow trout. But Ike Ward, my hat's off to you, my friend. You're truly a man that's going to be missed in this form and setting. And all you guys know, you put it all out there for us, and you sacrifice your time, your money, your everything for us, and you're all appreciated. I just want to say to some people that, I've got a legal notepad that I have some questions written down on that I'm going to take to my exchange with me. And there are questions I'm going to take when I go meet
The wealth manager?
The wealth manager. Thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome.
I got questions for him. And I suggest that we have that pad with us when we make that 800 number call, which sounds like maybe soon. I pray that it is, so we could say goodbye to all of this and see everyone on the other side of those zeros. Don't put everything up to your memory, because you're gonna forget half everything you wanted to remember when you're talking to whoever you need to be talking to. So do yourself a favor, put it on paper. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Fish. Do appreciate it. Next. Now. And where is Can You Hear Me Now? 281, go ahead.
Hello,
Houston,
how are
Texas.
you? Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm driving, so excuse the noise if you hear any. I just got on and I hear everybody saying goodbye to Iko. Did something happen? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He's taking a break, and so we kicked him out of the pool. We got tired of looking at him for a while.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, okay. Just taking a break. Okay. Well, I can understand that, you know. So, are we still any day, any minute, or we got to go to the end of the month? Oh, okay.
You know it. Any day,
Right.
any minute, any moment. You know, all that good stuff.
Right. As far as the 1-800 numbers for the internet group, are we going to get those for at the same time as the private groups or not? Do you know?
They've got so much disinformation out there. They've got it just like they want it, and we will not know what's going down until it goes down.
Okay.
That's as honest as I can tell you.
Okay, well, that was my question. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, man. And do *2 to put your hand down, please. Now, I've got another one here. It's a web caller that says water. That's all it says for a name is water.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. I've got thank you for taking my call first off. I'm just curious about the Chinese elders. I've listened to different people talk about them, and I'm just curious, when they say Chinese elders, they refer to them as being very old, hundreds of years old, or the dragon family. Where can I guess my question is, where can I read up about them? Are they really, really old? I'm talking about, I've heard them, they say that they're like, 300 years old, stuff like that, and I'm going, yeah, right.
Do you know that? I don't think there's any information out them other than just through the centuries talking about them. You know, if you're trying to remain anonymous, why would you want something written about you? Even if people wrote about them, ooh.
Yeah.
I need to mute you out for just a second. You'll understand why. Trying to sneak in there. I seen you sneaking in there at the bottom. Come on, Yosef.
Aloha.
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 How you doing?
Blessed beyond understanding. I called and I heard the elders, question come up, and I just kind of jumped in. Do you mind if I take a stab at it, just briefly?
If you want to hold the floor for a little bit, be my guest. It gives me a chance to do some other things around the house.
That's right. You get to crack open another blue moon,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just listen.
Perfect. All right. Well, look, the world is a very old place. And our memories, especially here in the United States, we have a very short memory when it comes to history, because our country's only been around for 240 plus years. So, however, there's a lot of cultures and society that's been in existence well over 5,000 years. So, some of these families have accumulated wealth over the centuries, over the millennia, over the eras, and they have figured out ways to exist without being known. They have figured out strategies of wealth preservation that go far beyond just portfolio diversification. And they exist in secret for their own protection, but also in the best interest of humanity in many respects, so that the true power of the world stays kind of hidden. Now, what happened, in the last 400 years was there was a power that came up and was an invisible power, and it was called the invisible hand, and that didn't stay hidden. And they came into different governments, different religions, different countries. They crossbred into different races and slowly built up a small force of a specific agenda that only they knew, and began kind of going against some of these older families that have been around for many, many centuries. And so there was been a war going on for hundreds of years. What's interesting is that we are all alive at this point in time when this, we'll call it the Atlantis versus Lemuria kind of war ends, which are the two forces, one of light and one of dark, that are kind of moving against one another and transitioning from power. The dark is turning the power over to the light. They've known this for a long time. It's nothing that they weren't expecting, but in 2001, like the gentleman brought up, Alan Greenspan, the gold standard, the transition was supposed to happen on September 11th, 2001, and they coordinated a heinous attack here on United States soil in a very graphic, bold, universal or global way, where all media coverage around the world was fixated on it. And yes, the media companies were in on it as well. And if you read anything about the stories of witnesses of what happened that day, you'll know that there were a lot of very suspicious deaths and disappearances of said witnesses. So anybody that was not on board with the dark agenda was, in essence, removed and scrubbed. So that's what we've been dealing with for the last 15 years. Just that hardcore battle of transitioning from dark to light, yes, in the monetary system, but in all ways here on the planet. And the sovereign families in Asia, who are considered the keepers of the collateral accounts, and some in Europe, are very old, and they're very wise, and yes, they live a very long time because they understand life preservation much differently than we do here in the Western world. Hard to believe, I know, but just be open to, life extension well beyond 100 years, maybe 200-300 years even in some cases, and possibly even more. So these are all new concepts. Obviously the money's a new concept for many of us, these kinds of numbers, these kinds of zeros entering our lives. But there's going to be a lot of truths that enter the public consciousness here soon, when not just the money changes, but the media will change as well. And so a lot of the lies and illusions that were taught to us in school, that were broadcast to us on television and in the radio, the veil will be kind of lifted, and the truth will surface, and the light of God will shine on the truth of humanity. And we're going to have to do a lot of readjusting. What's possible for us in our lifetime, what it means to be human, what it means to be abundant, just across all fields, all aspects. And so what I wanted to share, Jerry, with the audience was, when you get the money, and you will get the money, and it'll be easy. The Zim rates are going anywhere from $1.20 to $1.38, I think last time we looked. So they're very high. Dong's over $6, the dinar's over $9. So you're all going to get this. The NDA is going to be very simple. It's going to be less than 2 pages. And they basically just don't want you to share the banking information, or what happens between you and the bank. They'd like to keep that private. I don't think there's any great illusion that somehow they're going to be able to keep a global reset completely quiet in the day and age of social media. But what I want to share with the audience, and I'll wrap it up here, Jerry, is that when you do get the money, folks, obviously there'll be celebration, jubilation, and certainly, tears of joy, and a lot of bad memories and baggage and scars and mistakes that'll be cleared up by the inflood of wealth. But also keep your heart open to other ideas, other thoughts. A lot of new things are going to be thrown out there. A lot of scary things are going to be thrown out there, too, about what they've actually done to us and kept from us. Who and what was running us, our politicians, even our entertainers to some degree, have all kind of been in on the scam, or what's called the cabal, which is short for Kabbalah. So I just want people to know that, yes, they have the money, but it also kind of opens your mind up and obligates you to continuing your educational process like you're doing here on this call. And Jerry, you've provided a wonderful, wonderful platform for so many, including myself, to speak openly about some issues that maybe other calls or other formats weren't allowing because they were a little too controversial or a little off topic in relationship to the currency. So thank you guys, and good luck. And it's coming. And the time frame that the special caller had, it's right on the number for notifications. And then there's some time frames tomorrow through Wells Fargo that we understand in the morning is when everything should begin in full. So be blessed, guys. Go slow. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate the situation. Just get your accounts, your main accounts settled. Get the best rate you can. Ask for what you think you're worth, what you need, and then take some time to recalibrate, because your entire life is going to change. Every relationship you have will be affected by this. Where you live will be affected. Your neighbors will be affected. Your churches, your synagogues, your mosques, they will all be affected by the abundance that's flooding into yours and the communities, the Dinar community's lives. So just go slow and be patient with yourself, be gentle with others, and accept the unprecedented happening almost on a daily basis. Because when Nasara does kind of roll out here and they talk to you about the IRS and the abolishment of both the Federal Reserve, the IRS, Homeland Security, FEMA, I mean, these things are going to be just stunning to people who are not paying attention. That's all. Love you guys very much. And
no, don't go anywhere. I want to preface this. I want to say this first. I'm not trying to paint you into a box. Not trying to put you on the spot. How long do you, if you can answer, how long do you think it will be before we're going to see some new technologies come out that are really going to be beneficial that have been hidden? Do you have any idea on a time frame? That's my first question. And you can say not. You can say not now.
No.
I'm just asking.
No. It'll be. Look, it's if they got rid of the banking aspect of the cabal, they'll get rid of the technological hold on it too. So it'll be instantaneous, Jerry. You'll see, breakthrough announcements made. You'll see medical announcements made. You'll see a lot of health breakthroughs. You'll see a lot of energy breakthroughs and zero-point energy. A lot of transportation breakthroughs will be made, and there'll be money to fund all the development of those things. So that's all. It's not as far away as many people would believe. I mean, everything is right on the cusp, like a dam. Everything's sitting behind a dam, and when this does all flow out, everything flows out. Every aspect of society flows out, not just the money. That's what I've tried to prepare people for, Jerry, is the flood of mercy that's going to be coming at them. And if you don't have your surfboard turned around in the right direction, it's scary. It's really scary.
Can I say this? Even if you're not pointed in the right direction, and even if it rolls over you a little bit, you're still going to be okay. Not to worry. Not to worry. It's going to be okay.
Right.
You might get rolled over. Like two dogs playing, one gets rolled over and while the other one's playing with them. But does that dog pop up on its feet? Well, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Can we have just a private talk for a second? You and me and a couple of my friends.
A couple thousand of your friends. Sure.
Yeah, a couple thousand of my special friends. I've put a lot of thought to this. Probably haven't used all my brain cells, but we haven't had any major advancements in technology, and I want you to think about this, in transportation. And transportation covers a lot from the ground to the air. We've had refinements in what we have, but we've had no advancements. Think about that. Think about the last 100 years. We had some great advancements, and all of a sudden it just came to a screeching halt. We've had refinements in what we have, but that's it. So I can't wait for the new advancements to come out.
I'll give you a little fun tidbit on this. It has to do with George Bush Sr. There is a lot of talk or research or internet fodder on the fact that George Bush at one time in his youth was a assistant to Nikola Tesla.
I was going to go there. Thank you.
and so everything that you're speaking of, there's been the advancements, Jerry. They just buried them.
When Tesla died, they went in and took all of his patents and whatever it was, sanitized the patent office and hid it all from us.
Right. And there have been a lot of inventors since Tesla that have been as ingenious, and also their research and their technologies have been buried, their breakthroughs. So, like I say, a lot of that's been uncovered and is ready to come out of the chute, just like the money is. What's interesting about the Bush-Tesla relationship is they actually made a cartoon about it called Curious George. And George would be George Bush, who was the curious assistant that was basically stealing the ideas or reporting back to his superiors on the work of Tesla. And if you look at the trainer for the monkey, it looks just like George Bush. I forget what his name is.
And isn't the Bush's real name start with an S, Scherf or Chef?
It's funny. A lot of people will tell you that sheriff, and that's actually where the word sheriff comes from. It's a German name, part of the Fourth Reich families, in obviously in Bavaria. So, Third and Fourth Reich, I might add. But what's interesting about I read once that Joe Kennedy, who was the Air Force pilot that died in the Second World War, if you look at pictures of Joe Kennedy and a younger George Bush, they're identical. So a lot of people think that Joe Kennedy faked the death and came back as Preston Bush's son. Which it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. But if you look at the pictures, there's some great resemblances there. So, and of course George Bush was a pilot supposedly in his youth as well. So,
correct.
Who knows?
Oh, and thank you for the compliment on a platform. I just try to talk and bring things in like bib overall wearing people, because I'm down to earth. I've owned my own business, lost it when the planes hit the towers, because I had some contracts coming up in my business and their corporate offices were in the Twin Towers. I watched that and my heart sunk. Put me out of business. I mean, not right away, but it trickled off. So it's rough. It was rough for me, but I survived.
Yeah, it's been rough for everybody listening to this call. The last 20 years, really. I know people said that the Clinton years were a boom, but that's when the real problems started, actually, and all the wealth started massively accumulating into a very small pool of people through the Dodd-Frank Act. So we're coming out of it, which is great. We have scars, which hurts, and they're going to be with us. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to forget the twinge of the last 20 years in terms of things that have happened to us or dreams that we've had that have gone unfulfilled, myself included. That being said, we're alive at the greatest wealth transfer, the greatest information transfer, the greatest spiritual transfer of energy that generate any generation that we can go back and remember of our family has ever experienced. And we are so blessed to be in this moment. I just can't put it into words. I try, but I always fall short. The miracle that we are alive and have divine breath in this moment, let alone these currencies and the ability to bless people post-RV, we can really serve as little angels running around our communities, running around the world, running around our families, running around our children, our parents, our communities, and bless the broken. We can fix a lot of the things that are broken, and not just fix them, but we can make them better. And we can heal them and get them going in the right direction. And we have that capacity. Not just the money gives us that right, but just the fact that we have a soul and a breath at this time is the true value of why we're here. And we all must have sacred purposes if we're just here in this time frame, getting an opportunity to participate in it. So everybody that's calling in, even if the questions are silly, their soul and their breath is sacred. And we need to start treating one another that way, because it's true.
Thank you, Joseph.
No problem.
If you'll hang around for just a minute, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I want to tell you a little bit about myself, and this is the hardest part. Just 1 minute, please. Can you text me the question? This was the hardest. All these years that have went along has been a preparation for me anyway. I'm blue collar, and my buddy is going to hate me for this, and he can chastise me later in a good way. But I'm as blue collar gets. I've had my own welding company. I've been in construction. I've worked on trucks. That's blue collar. Now all of a sudden, I have to throw the bib overalls off and learn how to wear a damn Armani suit with a tie. Now, if I could wear boots or flip flops, I'd be happy. But oh no, you've got to have those darn fancy looking shoes to go with it. So here's what I'm trying to say: the hardest part for me is to learn how to still have blue collar common sense, but now to have white collar ideas and thinking. And I'm not talking about stinking thinking from the neck up. I'm talking about, Lord, give me a little help here. Give me some guidance. This is where I believe all of us are. This is the biggest transition for all of us. How to go from being a bib overall wearing, barbecue eating, dripping on down your chest on your beard, because I have one, to a highfalutin restaurant like the Rainbow Room that Iko went to, wearing a suit and just, being comfortable. That's the hard part for me, how to be comfortable. I don't do suits and boardrooms well. But anyway, I just wanted to just give you that little tidbit. Oh, Joseph, what do you think about Karen Hoods? Is it Hughes, Hoods, Hudes? May be spelled wrong. What do you think about her? Joseph? Hello? Joseph.
Hudes, Jerry.
Oh.
Hudes.
He might have dropped.
Hudes?
Yeah. I don't know. He might have dropped off. Yeah, I think he dropped off. Yeah, he dropped off. Anyway, he's gone. So, just a little bit about me and the things that I've struggled with, trying to get myself prepared for this. Every once in a while, I have a little panic attack going, oh my God, I'm not prepared. And then next thing you know, some people show up. Hey, we got your back. We got you covered. Here's what we're going to do. People that know, that have dealt with money already. This is from my standpoint. This is what I've been going through. Hold on. So I think we're getting ready to wrap this up. Will my buddy come in and give us a send-off? Are you ready? Oceanside, California? A Blessing? Hello? Now, come on. Pastor, where are you at? Oh, well.
John is still on. He'll do it.
Okay. John, give us a send-off, will you?
Yeah, can I say something real quick to you, though? First?
Absolutely.
Well, you know, just talking about blue collar and everything, bottom line is what I've been saying for a long time. In fact, I'm thinking about someone in particular right now. I don't want to mention names or anything like that, but she said, yeah, I just want you to be you, which, you know, I have a whole lot of experience at being me. In fact, I have more experience at being me than I have at being anybody else. And that's, bottom line is, Jerry, you just got to be you. Whether you're still wearing bib overalls, I started out in the financial services business and was in there for a long time, but when I first started, I was wearing the khaki pants and the French blue shirts and the silk ties and the slip-on shoes and the Argyle socks and that kind of stuff, and that really isn't me. And I found out that my customers actually wanted me to go back to being me too, because my customers were out there in the real world, not the real world. I guess that is one and the same, really. But bottom line is, I had to go back to who I was, which was boots and jeans and open collar shirt and either a felt or a straw hat, because that's who I am. And you just got to be you, whether you're in a boardroom or sitting down at the country diner. You got to be who you are. And whether you've got $100 in your pocket or $100 million in the bank, you still got to be you. Everything is relative. You just got to boil it down to how you handle small things. You're just going to handle bigger things the exact same way, just on a larger scale. So, and that's kind of the discussion that I've had with myself. You know, the Lord, you know, prayer I heard a long time ago was, Lord, help me to never forget who I am or whose I am or where I'm going. And that's the thing you got to remind yourself. Just help him, ask him to not let you forget who you are and whose you are. And I'll pray now if you're ready. And Father, we just go ahead. Sorry.
No, we're ready.
Okay. Lord, we just want to say thank you again for all that you're doing in each and every one of our lives. Father, I can only talk about me. I thank you for what you've done in my life and how you've grown me up, Lord, and helped me to broaden my thinking and expand my horizons, Lord. And in the process of it all, Lord, you've renewed my wineskin, because we are all getting ready to have new wine brought into our lives. And there's not a one of us that doesn't fall under the same rules. You cannot put new wine in an old wineskin. And so, Lord, help each and every one of us to expand our thinking, to look at other people and just look at the opportunities that we have in our lives to glorify and honor you in any way that we possibly can. Thank you, Lord, for this blessing. While we're praying, we're believing that we have received, Lord, and we just give you all the glory, honor, and praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Boy, do I need a lot of that. Anyway, thank everybody for showing up and making the call. Again, thank you for allowing me to host it and bring to you what I can, some of my life experiences. And John's exactly right. I'm going to be who I am. Occasionally, you have to put on a suit. It's not that I like it, but you have to do that. Anyway, thank you very much. Stopping the recording. Everybody have a good day.